And hello, good people of the internet. It is I, Tommy Kelly. This is Adventures in Woo, and this is another one of those 47s, one card divinations that we do every month here on the channel, and the podcast, YouTube, wherever it is you're looking at this or listening to this. It's open exclusively to patrons, and if you want to be in on that, just join the Patreon, any level, and then you get to ask a question. So we'll not do any ramble this week. We'll just go straight into it using the 47s. Incidentally, over the next couple of weeks there will be updates to all the 47s cards and new versions and new editions. The standard edition, like nothing is changing of the artwork. There's going to be 41 servants or 45 servants or 38 servants, whatever. Nothing changed in the artwork at all. So like the new versions of the standard deck will have like obviously the card as normal, but a different backing and a different box. And it's just to kind of celebrate the 5-year anniversary and to make all of the kind of branding all look the same. The deluxe version of the decks will have the new artwork for the 4 Devils added to it very shortly. And again, the box will be changed, backing will be changed. And then there'll be a limited edition version of the deck, which is going to have all the 4 Devils stuff at the standard size deck. Lovely little box. But also has an edition of some of the kind of combinations I've done over the years, the different artwork and stuff that I've done added. There's a new fixer. There's a couple of different things added to it, again with the original 40 as well. So that's coming up for the 5th anniversary, and a new version of the GRIMOIRE 47. 47s, if I get there. As you can see, even talking about it is putting me out of breath. Nearly there though, I have most of it done. Anyway, on to these. Marco, should I move back to London? Okay, so that is the contemplator for those on the audio only. Should you... Well, this is one of those things, Marco, and it's going to be kind of, in a sense, not that helpful to you because it's essentially you're looking for a yes or no answer. But what it's saying is to let go of the problem for the minute, to the decision's not to be made right now, and that something needs to be, I suppose, in a sense, I was going to say revealed, but that's too grandiose. That's not exactly what I mean. Not in a big kind of revelationary type sense, but that you just need to sit with this for another while. And usually, I suppose, with that, it means that something, the other boot hasn't dropped yet, or whatever that expression is. There's something just that has to happen, or may happen, or needs to be included in the equation that just either you're not aware of yet, or just hasn't happened yet. So it's just a kind of a call to just sit with it. You don't have to make a decision this exact moment, and just let it percolate in the back of your mind, rather than, switch the sides of your brains kind of thing. So instead of it being a particularly left brain decision, make it a right brain decision. Just let it go and see what happens. So there's a kind of a chance that there's something that not necessarily needs to happen, but you need to be aware of that may not have happened, or you may not be aware of. Right, repeating myself over and over again. Marco, just sit with it for a while longer. And by sitting with it, I mean don't think about it for a while. Craig, last month was the Devil. Which of the 40 servants is reaching out to me this month? Okay, that is the Desperate. The obvious kind of thing is that you're going to have, not that it's actually going to have a bad month, but you're going to have a bad time dealing with whatever's come up this month. But it'll also be, let's put a slightly more positive spin on it. It could also be a thing to look at the things that make you feel bad and not to avoid them. So rather than this kind of forced positivity that we sometimes have, that we have to be happy all the time, or you have to, thoughts are things and all of that sometimes we can kind of not look at the darkness, not look at the things that annoy us, and pretend they're not there because we don't want to focus our energy on them, because if you're focusing your energy on them, they grow and stuff like that. But they also grow when you don't focus your energy on them, and they're in the kind of background, kind of festering away. So I would say this is a call to this month to look at the things that are annoying you, look at the things that do make you depressed, do make you sad, and rather than avoiding them, sit with them head on. And that could be from the world situation to something going on in your family, to some sort of loss of love, or a person, or pet, or someone who died, all these things. But to sit with the things that make you feel uncomfortable and make you feel depressed, and don't run away from them. So that's what I'd say is more of a kind of the way to approach this, than just thinking that the next month is going to be a shitty month or whatever. So just sit with the stuff that annoys you and makes you unhappy and makes you sad, and that you usually avoid. Spirit. Will I be able to financially comfortably quit my job in February and focus on my business? Again, this is kind of a yes or no question. So if it's a positive card, I'm going to say yes. If it's a negative card, I'm going to say no. And maybe it'll have something to share other than that, but we'll see. The Witch. So, positive card. The Witch to me is a positive card, so that would say yes. But with the qualification on it that it involves doing some magic, and it involves going with the weird and, you know, working on it and doing kind of stuff, rather than, I suppose, just saying, if you just let it happen, whatever, then no. But, you know, work on it, use your magic, do your things, do your positive affirmations, your visualizations, all the type of magic stuff that you do, and then there's a good chance it'll be yes. Jen. Which career path is likely to work out for the best for my life of an upcoming choice? Stable and lucrative move to the north, or a more risky but colourful venture to the east? Okay. I was going to try to rephrase that for a one card reading, but I think it's actually okay. Yeah. Not odd. The Witch again, as these things happen. Which do you want? Which witches do you actually want? If you're like, I would assume by the questioning of it that the stable and lucrative move to the north is not actually what you want. It's what you think you should do, right? And the more risky but colourful venture is to the east. I am not giving you business advice, life advice, or any of these things. I'm in no way qualified. But the Witch, I suppose, and this kind of would suggest is that, you know, magic only works when you know what you want. You know, that if you have a general kind of, oh, good luck or something like that, it doesn't seem to work in the same kind of sense of having an exact target of what you want. So decide what you want. And then it might be stability and lucrativeness. It might be the money and stability that you actually want, rather than, you know, an adventure or something that, had it come out and it was like the card was the adventure, then it would definitely be pointing to the second one. But yeah, the Witch. There's also kind of a thing in it that might be suggesting, being that the Witch is the epitome of the weird, in that something, it might be slightly out of your choice, might be out of your hands, and that there's a magical element going to all of this. So I would say, find out which one you actually want to do, magic first. But don't do anything stupid, in the sense of don't take a huge adventure because of a one card reading from the 47s. Which also is donating to, is conating, what's that word? It's suggesting that you maybe should do some more divination on it, or something like that, or maybe work with it around the whole decision. There's something in me, for some reason, is really hesitant to say, just, you know, go for the adventure and go for the thing. But that's because that's my natural inclination, is to always do that, always. And mostly, for years it didn't work out for me, but then it worked out for me when I finally kind of let the reins loose a wee bit on it. There's something hesitant about that it seems to be something that it's not as easy as a decision, just quite as that. So, yeah. What does the Witch represent to you in this as an answer? Ralph. Is it a good idea to make Dreamwork my main topic? It's the Levitator. That would suggest to me that what you need to do is not think about this question in the sense of what do I need to be my main topic. To just kind of rise above it all, get a bigger world view of it. You know, if you're up with bigger advantage, bigger perspective, different perspective, and you're getting a kind of a bigger perspective on overall things rather than a very kind of specific you know, kind of real kind of in detail. It's like seeing the bigger picture rather than the details, you know. So it'd be kind of go have a more broader kind of view on what you're doing, rather than trying to say getting into Dreamwork or divination, or, you know, don't break it down, don't contract it, just go for the bigger picture of whatever you choose to call that, be that spirituality, magic, or whatever is your path. But yeah, not to condense it or to kind of squeeze it into one as yet. Just kind of keep broad, keep as a big more of an overview, rather than kind of really kind of there's a word my brain just won't get to. Condense it, contract it into one thing, which is Dreamwork. So, is it a good idea to make Dreamwork my main topic? No. Jason, what stage of my journey comes next? Okay, Jason. We have the Mother. Okay, Jason, that would involve, say, or suggest to me that what you need to do is concentrate a bit on material stuff rather than spirituality. On, well, you know, like the Mother is like kind of the archetype or the epitome or the kind of idea of earth-based, you know, earth, the earth element in, but it's also, you know, caring It's not just like say money and shelter and food and that kind of thing, which is the standard earth kind of thing, but it has the a self-care or having a loving care or feeling loved or looked after, or looking after yourself. That's it. It's kind of, you need to look after yourself a bit, man. And I don't think it's necessarily a physical way, even though the earth would point at a physical thing. There's obviously that too. It's like, it's not saying you need to start jogging or something like that, but it's look after yourself in a kind of holistic way, in a physical, but there's an emotional element to it as well, because stop being so hard on yourself, or maybe it could be the opposite, stop being so easy on yourself, and that's a way to self-love. But yes, care for those around you, create a kind of a loving home atmosphere, a bit more grounded. Cat. Am I on the path I'm supposed to be on? Oh, there's a card jumping from here. It's the monk. So, the monk is all about keeping things simple, keeping in silence, retreating away from. It would be in a sense of like staying off social media and just getting your own thoughts, or having read loads of books or done a course or something like that. Is like kind of separating yourself from that and see how you feel about it. But it's definitely about having a simple kind of life and a simple kind of approach. So am I on the path I'm supposed to be on? If it's simple, then the answer is yes. If it's complicated, then the answer is probably no. So try to keep, what is the most succinct version or the underlying core idea that you feel your spiritual path is, and are you doing that? And just like being in silence and meditation and beauty of the world, seeing things as it is, and not wanting to. I suppose the monk is kind of in the now. It's seeing the the world as it is, both the good, the bad. The tree in full bloom and the tree in the depths of winter with in the desolation, or all the trees have fallen and it looks dead and all that kind of thing, and accepting both equally. So there's a lot there, I would say. So, but I think it's around simplicity and what's the core idea behind what you think is right for you, and are you doing that? And if you're not, if you're overcomplicating it, then to try and stop complicating it. Natasha, how do I support my loved ones who are facing anxiety, depression, and financial worries? That's tough. Okay, here we are. The Fortunate. Okay. There's an obvious thing that comes out of that is to be the fortunate to them, in the sense of, if it, in some way, can you relieve it? Literally, can you do it? Like, can you lessen their anxiety by doing something for them? Can you lessen their depression by doing something for them? Or, their financial, can you literally give these people money? Like, I don't know what your situation is or whatever. The obvious thing is to try and point out to them or to do something that makes them feel fortunate, or to, the gratitude thing or whatever. And I know there's nothing worse than when you're in the depths of anxiety, depression, and financial worries, for someone to go, you really should be grateful for all the things you have. But unfortunately, sometimes that's what you need, and it's so rather than just, it's kind of like going to someone who's in the dumps and go, oh, just smile, and they immediately want to thump you in the face. So it'd be, I suppose, a way of showing, if you could set up a way to show them the good things they have, rather than trying to tell them to focus on it. So it's to actually have it. So it would be like, if there's family and he's all have a good relationship or whatever, then to have like a family meal or something like that, where that kind of, rather than telling them to see the thing that is grateful, show it, let it be in action, let there be something going on that that allows this thing to grow, or to be shown, or to revealed, or to be presented. If there is a case that there's something good someone likes about something, like say a person who's full of anxiety and depression, could you do something with them that they enjoy, so that even if it's a respite for only a minute between the worries, that it's it's showing the thing, rather it's just kind of, in a sense, because what can you do rather than just telling someone they should be grateful or trying to point to the good. So also, I suppose, this is me, this is not the card, trying to be there and and not try to dismiss the experience they're having either, like to kind of honour it and to You know, because that's another part of saying the gratitude thing is where you can, oh, just be grateful. It's kind of the dismissive and negation of the actual feelings and the experience that the person's had. It's kind of saying they're not real, just be happy. You know, have you tried being happy and not sad or whatever is the thing. So there's something around you becoming the embodiment of the fortunate and showering upon them good times in whatever way that's you're capable of doing that, or whatever way that wants to come out of you. But it's you be the sun in the dark place. But look after yourself. You know, you don't want to owe people all your life. Bira. Some advice on how to help Dad tackle his health issues would be wonderful. Okay. So we have the Thinker. The Thinker is like kind of thinking rationally. Thinking rather than wishful thinking, rather than positive thinking, rather than placebo, rather than so rather than placebo, it's actually taking the actual medication, you know, the tablet. It's rather than trying to go with the flow and see what happens, it's making a battle plan, a business plan, sitting down with what actually needs to be done. So I would say how to tackle his health issues is to sit down and have a proper rational think of what needs to be done for him to get from where he is to where he needs to be in full health. Is that, I don't know the situation, but just in a more wider thing, is that, you know, battling down or pinpointing down a good diet, an exercise regime? Is it, you know, saying you have to have more relaxation? Is it planning it out? Is it doing a timetable of, you know, either exercise, relaxation, enjoyment, getting to the doctor, getting, you know, doing all the physio, whatever it is that the health problem is to actually nail it down and have a plan for it. Rather than just hoping it goes away, rather than just trying to be positive about it or whatever, it needs an actual plan. Carmen, which of the 47s best represent the energy I should use in the next month? Okay. The Hilo. So, yeah, you should use rather than you should be. So you need to heal. You need to have to think about healing yourself. Maybe resting more than you normally would. Not be on the full kind of hustle to try and do things for everyone else in the world and your career and your life and all of those things. But have some time for your own healing. And that could be sitting, watching a comedy movie or watching your favorite TV show, but doing it over the course of a month and having a kind of a sense that you're recuperating or regenerating, you know, have that kind of feeling of regeneration. So that's the word that seems to want to come to me, is a regeneration. So the energy of the month is regeneration. Maybe kind of think of doing things like detox. I know that's hokey or whatever, you know, but, you know, maybe eat some more fruit or drink some more water and all those things rather than, you know, a 30-day fast or whatever. But, you know, do something that's going to encourage regeneration and healing and self-love and self-appreciation and, you know, relaxing and getting yourself back together. And you know, it's like after you've done the marathon, you know, rest for a couple of days. So you've done the marathon, and have this month is where you're going to just kind of regenerate, look after your health, and look after yourself. And kind of health, of course, doesn't mean just being lack of sickness, but to promote well-being. So to make yourself laugh and to be happy and to be joyous and do things that make you feel like that. Felix, which of the servants should I connect with this month? Okay. The Conductor. So, you have to take the reins of your life yourself. You have to decide what you want. Rather than letting life happen to you, you have to decide that you're going to happen to the world. And it's imposing your will on the world. So it's kind of going, we have this kind of a tendency sometimes in spirituality, if you're anything like me, where you kind of go with the flow and you surrender and you let the universe dictate what's happening, or you let other people dictate what's happening. And if it's for me, then it'll happen. If it's not, it wasn't meant to be. Conductor says no to all of that. He says you decide what you want and you go and get it, and you make these things happen. And that the big part of it was the decision about making what is it you want, and then kind of conducting your life and the music of your life around getting that. So that's what you should do for the next month. Abraxas, where is this creative block stemming from? Okay, so that's the Explorer. So, lack of inspiration. You're too embedded in the same type of thoughts, the same type of medium, the same type of books, the same type of art, the same type of... You're watching the same type of movies, you're reading the same type of books, you're talking to the same type of people, you're... you need to do something else. You need to widen that, explore new areas, so, I mean, if you hate... Say it's just movies, right? So if you hate sci-fi, watch a load of sci-fi. If you hate fantasy, watch a load of fantasy. But more than that, it's kind of an overall kind of feel that there's a stagnation. And so the creative block is coming from stagnation and not wanting to interact with new energies, new ideas. Of course, you can't be creative unless you're interacting with these kind of new ideas, new approaches, new something. So, I mean, if you've never painted, paint as an example, or if you always paint it, then do some math, like do something with the other part of your brain, or engage with something. So yeah, it's around stagnation and not being open to different possibilities and seeing different things. If you only listen to rock music, I was going to say country music. Don't listen to country music. Listen to jazz or something. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing. It's a stagnation. It's coming from having too closed a mindset on what your influences or your ideas or what your art, whatever that is for you, or your creativity is. So the pool of within you're taking your ideas from has exhausted. Okay. So good people of the internet, that is us for another month. Again, I said at the beginning, if you want in on this, just join the Patreon at the beginning of the month. I put up the call for questions and you just add them to the posts. And if you want to do it if you want to do it without people knowing who your name is, you can private message me. So yeah, until next time, may you have a great week, great month. May all be well. May your best days be ahead, and be well.